you know. And, again, a lot of times when people come in, you're looking for an opportunity. Maybe you've had people believe in you, maybe you've made it at something else, and you're looking to recreate it. Maybe you've never made it. Maybe you're looking for someone to believe in you, looking for an opportunity. Maybe, he had people tell him what he couldn't do or could do. You may have that too. There's going to be people that may say that. Either they're small-minded themselves. They can't look past their own little goals. Or maybe they are a certain way and they think, well, everybody's got to fit in my box or I'm going to make fun of them. Okay? You don't have to be anybody for anybody else. Be your best you. Go after your goals. And that's what this whole day has been about, is letting you know that you can do it. Letting you know that it is important to establish goals. We've all had goals. We have goals today. We have goals for tomorrow. And everybody's goals, or lack of goals, has got them right where they're at. So we're going to look at some things that you can control. That you can control. Three key areas that will make the difference. Because you've identified some goals, you'll start putting plans in place with your team leader and yourself before the end of the year. The first thing that we can control is our attitude. It says the arrangement of parts of the body, figure, posture, or a mental position with regard to a fact or state, a feeling or emotion toward a fact or state. That's your attitude. A lot of times we might think of the mental attitude, but it's physical too. If you look at the physical here, look at the physical attitude of this person, and now look at the next one here. Good posture and everything. Went to a Tony Robbins, and I thought he said it very well. He said if you can imagine having a loop or a clip put in here, in your chest, just above your sternum, and having somebody grab it and kind of pull it up and out, okay? Your shoulders are back, they're up, your head's up, okay? We've all seen people kind of looking down, rock kick in position, hunched over a little bit. And here's the thing. If you want to be confident, you've got to take a hold of your physical state also. I know we talk a lot about mental, which we will in a minute, but take a look at your physical state. We heard for those of you who are on the call, which is everybody, right? Because we have to be on every call, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We heard the greatest salesman in the world part, right? He says if you want to feel better, dress better. Put on a new pair of clothes. That was a scroll here three scrolls ago, right? And I know Steve's really taken ownership of that book. He's read the book. He's read the scrolls again and again and again. He could probably say them without actually having to read it out of the book. But if you want to feel better, if you want to feel more confident, dress more confident. Okay? Look at yourself in the morning whenever you go out. Is your hair, combed, reasonably clean? You have to have the highest, nowadays you never can tell really sometimes with hairstyles, right? But look at yourself and look in the mirror and say, do I look like a successful person? Do I feel like a successful person? And again, some of you are more logical. A lot of you are more emotional. Salespeople tend to be, really emotional creatures. That's what allows you to connect with people. Being real, just being real. There are some that are definitely logical, but the fact of the matter is, you will feel more confident if you have a good posture. If you walk around as a confident person. You are who you are right this moment. Whatever, most people think about their downside, I don't know if you want to call it weakness, but their opportunities for growth, and they compare themselves to other people's strengths. You have strengths in and of yourself. You can do whatever you want to do and whatever you will do, whatever you will decide to do. But the first thing we've got to do is control our physical state. Control our physical state. There's people in this room and there's people out of this room too that they can walk in the same business with the same product, and one person will go in there and the business owner won't give them the time of the day. Another person will walk in there, and John and I have had this discussion many times. He's done calls on it. Another person goes in there and, well, what are you doing? Well, yes, sir, let's take an interest, and it's how you carry yourself. Now, once you open your mouth, it's also what you know or don't know, too. But initially, it's how you carry yourself. You know, the next part is the mental state. You know, in the mental state, really, you know, the first thing is positive or negative. You know, we've all heard many times that positive and negative cannot exist in the mind at the same time. So if you ever have a doubt, you know, a seed of doubt in your mind, or a thought of doubt, or a negative thought, simply insert a positive one. They cannot stay in your mind at the same time. You have total control over that. You know, if you start down the negative path, you're going to get things that go with that. If you start down the positive path, you're going to get the things that go with that. You know, the other thing is, you know, am I a victim or a victor of any situation, whatever happens in life? You know, everybody can come up here and stand and say, here's all the bad things that happened. Denise could have said, well, I'm paying $800 a month to a rental car company because I didn't have a car. Okay? Or she could have said, okay, now what's the solution? Because she did tell me, here's what the deal is. I don't know how to sell. I've never sold anything. I'm paying $800 a month plus gas to this, you know, rental car. Now, she did that ahead of time. You know, she came in that situation. So what are we going to do about it? That's what the solution is. You know, everybody that's come up here today has said, here's what my challenge was. You know, before I came, during when I came, whatever the case may be. But always, and this is how I overcame it. And this is how I overcame it. Doesn't matter what it is in life. It's not the challenge, the problem. You know, it's what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? You know, it doesn't matter if you've inherited stores that from another company that weren't taken care of. If you've got stores with great renewals, stores with no renewals. What I do know for a fact is if you will be a victor, how can I overcome this? What's the solution? Not only will you accomplish, you will find your way, but guess what happens? You plow the field you're in, and another one will be given to you. You plow that field, another one will be given to you. You know, the fact is, you know, they say small people talk about other people. You know, average people talk about things, and great people talk about ideas and solutions. You know, you have the power to be any of those. You know, you can walk in between any of them, but the fact of the matter is not what's in front of you, not the challenge you've got. You know, the fact is sometimes I hear people's challenges, and the person that's sitting next to them has a challenge they don't even understand or know, but you don't see it or hear it because guess what? They're on to the solution. You've got to really focus on that solution, you know. And in our business, like John Whiteholder said earlier, the solution is about how can we help the business owner? How can we help this person in front of us? You know, the solution for the team leaders here is how can we help our team members? The solution for all of us is how can we help other people? You know, the second key thing that we can control is our thoughts. Our thoughts. Our mind is like a magnet. Everything that you're thinking about, we talked about it in the goal setting. If you're thinking about, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, guess what? You're thinking about weight. I want to quit smoking, I want to quit smoking, I want to quit smoking. You're thinking about smoking, okay? So whatever you're thinking about all the time, you know, you want to implant that with, I'm healthy, I'm happy. You know, you saw a lot of that through the videos, right? You saw a lot of that through the videos. Think about the life you want. Now take action today on what you've got. You've got to deal with what's right in front of you today. But what the record that's playing over in your mind over and over again is what you want. What's the ideal situation? You know, again, here's a book that changed my life forever. As a Man Thinketh. You know, and the fact of the matter is, your thoughts are like seeds. You know, your thoughts are like seeds. And literally, you're planting your crop. Today, whatever your circumstances are, you're harvesting, and we're not ready for the next one yet, but you're harvesting today, yesterday's, last week's, last month's, last year's thoughts, attitudes, and actions. Whatever situation you're in, you know, it didn't just happen to you. You know, it says man didn't enter the jailhouse or the almshouse by chance. We didn't fall into a bad situation. Somebody, you created it, either through your attitude, your thoughts, and your actions. And typically one affects the other. But they're all seeds. And you really get this. This is vital. This is vital. This is absolutely vital. You're either thinking all day long of why your store is a good store, like Denise was, even though the people that came before her thought it wasn't. Did we trick her? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I knew with her ability, she could go up there and do what some other people had. Now, if it was certain stores in town, would we have said the same thing? No. But I knew her skill set and her work ethic, which was unmatched by all the other people we sent up there. It was 9-day difference. She was thinking, this is a good store. I'm going to see the store director, get some leads. People like me up here. This is a good store. It's a nice high D. People like the store. They're putting a lot of tape in it. This is a great opportunity. And so what happened? She found people that other people didn't even see. Every thought you're allowing in your mind, is like a seed. And when you allow it to stay there, you planted it in the ground. And people may say, well, I've got thoughts coming from all different places, They're here and there and everywhere. You can have thoughts, and you will, while you're learning to control your mind, okay? You will have thoughts that come from everywhere. Having a thought come into your mind is one thing. Allowing it to stay there is quite another. And for you to be as successful as you can be, you've got to take control of your thoughts. You absolutely must. It's something no one else can do. Otherwise, you know what happens? Like Ed, I've been going to sales conferences for the last 27 years. First time I went to one, the guy 27 years ago, the guy talked about this book. And I heard that guy say things that I'd never heard another man say or another woman say before ever. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I lapped it up like a dog that was thirsty. And you know what happened though when I left, when I had to leave that weekend? It's like I wish I could stay here with these people. But I knew what I really had to do. I liked how I felt there. But what I had to do was go back home, a little bit at a time, read some books, listen to some tapes, some CDs, counsel with my mentor, and over time learn how to take control of my own thought patterns, control my own thoughts, set my own goals, so I can be strong in and of myself. Because otherwise, you go around some people that are excited. You talk to your team leader. I can do it. I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make some money this week. I'm going to do a good store. They hang up. You go out there. Oh, we don't do things like that. Oh, crap. I'm not going to make any money this week. My store sucks. My coach must not like me. The company wants me to quit, And the fact is you got to become strong in and of yourself. And how you do it is just a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. The seeds are living and growing. We have to completely take control of our thought. If you have a thought that goes, how do you know if it's a good seed or a bad seed? Well, you set your values. That's who you are. Okay, that's who you are. You set your values. And Roger gives a great talk on that, and it was really helped. That's who you are in your family life, in your health, in your spiritual, in your business life, everything. And that's basically your self-designed parameters. Okay? Once you know what they are, I tell people exactly how it is. I will shoot straight with them. Okay? It could be honesty, integrity. It could be discipline. It could be, family as a value. It could be education. Things that are important to you, making a difference. The key is, those are your values and then your goals. So whatever your goals are. If it's a bad seed, guess what? It's not congruent with those. If you're allowing a thought of doubt, a thought of fear, if you're allowing thoughts that are outside of your value system, that's a bad seed. So how do you take it captive? You simply think of the good thought, your goal. You go back to your goal. You go back to your values. Sometimes you have to verbalize it. Okay? Sometimes you have to verbalize it. You know, it could be anywhere from, let's say you wake up on a Monday and you're thinking, your body's saying, or your thoughts are saying, I don't feel like going to work. Well, what do? You know, you look at your goals. Well, what do I do to achieve my goals? I got to get out and work. The easier thing is, it's not, the hard thing is go out and work, and the easy thing is to stay home and watch Scooby-Doo. The easy thing is to achieve my goals so I can have peace of mind, I can help my family, I can share with the ones I love, I can be a good example. That's the easy thing. Okay, it could also be taken captive by not only your goals, by looking at your goals, but also by verbalizing. Whatever it is. You know, I am disciplined. Every day I get up and I work my numbers. I walk into 25 to 35 doors, or find 6 to 10 buyers that I can present to, or sell 1 to 3 ads that I can sell today. That's what I do over and over again. Say it over and over again. Here's the thing. You can take control of it by a thought, by your goal. Sometimes you have to say it over and over again, the positive. Okay? If you let that seed of doubt, that seed of fear, that seed of laziness, that seed of anything that's not congruent with your goals stay in your mind, you're choosing to plant a bad seed in your garden. And it will grow, and you will harvest it. You'll harvest it maybe at the end of the week. You plant seeds of laziness, at the end of the week there's no income. You know, you plant seeds of diligence, persistence, discipline, at the end of the week you'll have a good paycheck. You plant seeds of thrift, smart choices, you'll have wealth, you'll accumulate wealth. You know, and it's all a process for everybody. But you get to choose. You get to choose. This is so important. This is so important. It's critical. You know, the next thing, it's the third key, is actions. Or actions. You know, the first part of actions is decision. Your point of decision. You know, you have to decide for yourself. And we said earlier, it's something that you must do for yourself. Otherwise, what happens? Somebody else will do it for you. You know, this is not a 9 to 5 punch-in time clock. It's not a deal where you got the pit boss on top of you, the slave master on top of you, the overseer, cracking the whip every time. I mean, it can be if you have to have it that way, but, you know, we've got some people that will do it that way, and then we've got some team leaders that say, you know, no. But the fact of the matter is, you have a chance to be self-employed here if you'll take control of your work habits, your actions. But you have to decide. You have to decide what is success to you. How much money do you need to make this week? And then next week. And what are you going to do about it in the next 15 minutes? What a great call there. What a great topic. You know? But you have to decide. Or otherwise, what will happen? You aren't going to make enough money. Pretty soon you're going to say, well, my team leader's a communist. My stores, they're, you know, I know there's A, B, and C stores. My stores are like F stores, you know. They only gave me junky stores. The contracts and the pen I have don't seem to work because I don't seem to be using either one of them very much. You know, that's got to be the company's fault, you know, somebody else's fault. And all of a sudden, what do? At some point when you need money bad enough, you walk in and you walk into a boss who says, okay, now you're part of my plan. You clock in at this time. If you're a minute late, we're going to deduct it. If you're 5 minutes late, we'll write you up. If you're late 3 times, we'll fire you. Does that plan make sense? Are you clear on that? You know, now you've made yourself into somebody else's plan because you didn't choose. Today you have a deciding option. Okay, but what do we got to do next? We got to have some discipline. You know, again, that's something. There's a book, Dare to Discipline Yourself. The first time I read it, I was just about 20 years old. And it was like, yuck. Because I remember that discipline word from my dad. This is absolutely a real story. I felt sick and dirty and disgusting reading that book. It was not, but I wanted what the guy who told me to read it, you know, I wanted what he had and said, read this book. Funny thing is I read all those books, listened to the CDs, plugged into my team leaders. I came here with a right mindset. I did the work. I made a lot of money out there selling. And you know what? Down the road, I looked back. One of my best friends was disciplined. I did things that other people wouldn't do. I did things around me I did things that other people wouldn't do. I did today what others wouldn't, so I could live tomorrow how others couldn't. You know, and you can do the same thing. I like that. Everybody said the same thing today. You got to get up every day. You know, and I'm going to highlight, I know I do this a lot, but I'm going to highlight Steve Ajaga. You know, here's a guy that I saw him for 6 months. He had, he had gallstones. Kidney stones. Kidney stones. He had gallbladder. Yeah, there you go. He had kidney stones. No, but he would walk in hunched over. He had multiple ones, but he had one that was the size of a quarter that couldn't come out. And he had to have a treatment on that. He had another one that was lodged in there forever. And Roger, he came in every day, didn't he?
He did.
You know, he was in terrible pain. He couldn't take the level of pain medicine they gave him because he wouldn't have been able to drive or work. You know what? He got up every day. You know what he did? He had his daily goal every day. He worked his plan. During that whole time, he's still doing his stores 5 times a year, most of his stores. Some of them are 4 times a year program. He got up every day and went to work. He barely walked out of that office every day. But his family needed him to make a living, you know. And he was committed to his process. You know, that's discipline. The third key here is our habits. I'm about done. You know, we are what we continually do. We are what we continually do. The little choice today you make, it doesn't seem like a big deal. Do I work? Do I not? I found the easiest way is do the work during the day. Do what needs to be done during the day, and then guess what? Later on, you can relax, have time, have the money to do what you need to do. That's the best way. That's the easiest way. The easiest way isn't to play hooky, skip out on your team leader. You know, if you're not answering the phone, they know you're not working, or at least not too hard, right? Oh, my phone wasn't working. It never seems to work on Mondays. And I don't know, maybe it's a deal, I don't know. It just seems to be, you know, we got that figured out. You guys think, you know, we don't. I'm not talking to you guys on that. You guys got up. You left your markets, you came here, you got up on a day where a lot of people were still at home, and you're here. You guys are the choir. We're preaching to the choir. But think about this. At first our habits are like a little thread that can easily be broken. But you weave them again and again, every day, just a little bit. It doesn't seem like a little simple action today. But over time they become like a cable that cannot be broken. You know, the little habit you do I call my team leader or not? Do I have a goal set or not? You know, do I have a plan? Do I know what I'm going to do today? You know, all those little things that we say, this is what we do this. We know this works. Not overselling the customer, selling multiple cycle, 4 cycle minimum or more. You know, all those little things. I'll do it tomorrow. Well, you just wove another little yarn in there. Another one, another one. Pretty soon it's harder to do it any differently than what you're doing it. The easiest for you to change is today. The easiest for you to change is today. So, you know, as you take in what everybody said, there was a lot of great stuff today. You guys got things that other people didn't. You know, remember that we believe in you. We know that you're willing to do things other people aren't because you're here. You're on the calls every day. You know, and you know, as we close here, you know, think about yourself as a master gardener or a master composer, an artist, and you have a clean piece of paper. You've got your goals, and you're going to start filling in the blanks. That's planting your seeds. Okay, as you allow it to stay in your mind over and over again and take action on it, that's like watering those seeds, weeding out the weeds, fertilizing the seeds, taking care of them, taking care of the plants as they grow. You are the designer of your life. Where you got yourself up to this point, by and large, is you. By and large, it's you. Something may have happened to you, but along the way, you did something to think about it, to pull it in to yourself somehow. The sooner you take ownership of that and say, moving forward, this is what I'm going to do. And commit to it. To your team leader, commit to it to your family, commit to yourself. Look at your goals every day and take control of your attitude your thoughts, and your actions, and this is going to be the best year that you've ever had.